Good afternoon, my friends. It is Draft for Upside, possibly the last football show of the year. It is championship weekend. It's a two-game slate, and I don't know, Mark. I don't think we're going to do a Super Bowl show. Maybe we'll do a showdown, quick pick thing. I don't know. This could be it. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I mean, we'll at least have an article or something on the showdown. We got to do a showdown for the Super Bowl.
Right? I mean, we're going to in our DFS league, which you squeaked ahead of me last week with your win.
Yeah, I've won 2 out of the 4, so
yeah, man.
I'm gonna keep that up this week and just take the whole thing.
Yeah, I tried to play nothing but chalk last week, and the chalk failed. Didn't work out for me. So we'll see what happens this week. But we are Draft for Upside. I am Johnny Danger. With me, of course, Brewery Mark. It's like 4 in the afternoon instead of our normal 9 o'clock at night. So I just have a little raspberry cranberry water over here. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still drinking coffee. Ended up having to work all day. So
I like it. So hopefully you guys get this NHL show on the road, my friend, because you've been putting out some good information. I've been playing. I've been winning. I appreciate you.
Been winning some money.
Yeah,
I've been winning my cash, which is my articles are mostly about cash plays. So
right. All right, let's see. I don't have a good banner for this, so I'm not going to put one up there. What do you think about that?
That's fine.
All right, so we got a 2-game slate here, man, and we got, of course, superstar teams because we are in the championship weekend. There is an absolute ton of chalk. So let's just talk about the 2 games individually, and then we'll start talking kind of about how we're going to attack this Draftkings build. So first game up is tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Tampa Bay heading up to Green Bay. I believe we have a 3.5-point favorite in the Packers, a 51.5 over-under. That over-under has gone up a little bit over the last week.
I'm actually surprised at it too. Antonio Brown's probably not going to play. You have Tampa Bay coming up to Green Bay. Green Bay's defense has been solid. Tampa's defense is number 1 in the league. I just don't see how this game's going to hit 51.5, 52. If I was a betting man, I would take the under on this game.
Which you can be now in the state of Michigan as of
yes, we can. Starting yesterday.
I'm going to be doing quite a bit of betting. I actually declared last night on our friends Better on Drafts broadcast when the broadcast end, they asked my opinion, and I'm going to do a 4-way parlay, man. I'm going to take the points in both games, and I'm going to take the under in both games. What do you think about that?
I like the points. But I think the Kansas City Buffalo game is probably going to go over.
I don't know, man. Both of these teams have a tendency to play down to the other team. Both these teams have a tendency to get out to slow starts.
This is true. It's playoff football, and playoff football traditionally is lower scoring.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a minute to look it up, but if I remember particularly, yes, playoff tends to be a little scoring, and I think the Chiefs and Bills have gone under like 4 or 5 of the last several times they've played.
Yeah, probably.
I know
they went under last week.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm not so much believing in a big blowout here, man. I think both of these games are gonna be very close. I actually believe the Packers are going to win, but I think they win by 3 or less. So I really like the points on the Buccaneer side. Plus, if they flat out win, at least you put your money on the goat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Packers win. I think they win by 2 or 3. I think it's a very close game. On the other side, Buffalo, Kansas City. I mean, I could see a scenario where Buffalo wins. It's very hard to get to the Super Bowl. It's very hard to go back to the Super Bowl. The way the Bills played last week, I thought was very good. I liked the way their defense looked. John Brown got back and integrated back into the offense. Beasley's got another week to be healthy.
Yeah,
I kind of like Buffalo to win the game.
I do too, and I actually like their running game better with just Singletary there, without the swapping off to Moss. It seemed like they were a little more dedicated to it. Singletary was more amped for it. He was just running better, and they were just blocking better for him. Yeah, I can totally see where you're going with that. And I was actually going to say, for me, I'm going to have bets on Green Bay and Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo to win.
Yeah, I like Buffalo, especially with the points right now. When I took the bet originally, it was 2.5. It's now up to 3 for Buffalo. So it's going the other direction.
Yeah, I'll take that. Absolutely.
I'm not too worried about Mahomes. He cleared concussion protocol. I'm not worried about that at all. I just hate how Kansas City gets off to these slow starts, and I think Buffalo can really make them pay for that if that's the case tomorrow.
So what do we got here? It's actually DraftKings Sportsbook, which is legal in Michigan. 3.5 on both of them.
3.5 on both of them now. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just looking at my normal sports app, and it still says 3 for the Chiefs. But
the over under on Buffalo, the over under on Buffalo Kansas City is up to 54.5.
Yep, I see that as well. So I like the under, man. I really do. I just think it's more likely that these two teams get off to a slower start, just kind of poking and prodding and seeing where they can get away with things. Neither of them have a very good run game, so they're not going to set that kind of pace early. And it's just too easy to go 3 and out when you don't really have a real run game. Yeah,
no, I agree. Yeah, I think your 2 under bets is a good strategy.
And look at the other side. I mean, Brady, he really is a dink and dunk quarterback, right? He has been his whole career. He has got amazing receivers this year, so he's been better on the longer plays as the season kind of went along. But Green Bay plays at one of the slowest paces in the league. They really slow the ball down. They run the ball a lot for how much Davante Adams racks up points. But they run the ball between now 3 running backs. They really put A.J. Dillon in some game script last week. I could see him doing it again this week, trying to wear down that Tampa defense and keep Brady off the field. So I really feel strongly about the under in the Tampa Bay and Green Bay game.
Yeah, I completely agree there. I think that game's going under. And you're right. They play slow because they know they have Aaron Rodgers. They have Davante Adams. At any time, right, those two can just turn it on in 50 yards in one play. So
yeah. So we know where the chalk's going to be this week, right? We're building a 2-game slate. The chalk, I mean, I can go look at some ownership projections right now, and I will. So in this first game, you've got 52.9% projected ownership on Aaron Jones, 55.6% ownership on Davante Adams. That's the biggest in this game. These are the 2 least owned quarterbacks because, of course, the super studs going in the next game. With Rodgers only at 20%, Brady at 11%. I think it's a big deal that Antonio Brown's out. I think that makes it easier for Jair Alexander to hone in on probably Mike Evans would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to play the other side, I'm probably more interested in Godwin than Evans, though I'll mix it up in both when I'm going to play multiple lineups. I'm really not interested in Scotty Miller, though, with Antonio Brown out. I mean, if you ask me, Mark, I think it's going to be more Cameron Brate and Gronkowski getting involved.
Yeah. Scotty Miller didn't do anything before Antonio Brown was there. He's fallen out of favor with Brady. People were high on him at the beginning of the year, but Brady just never synced up with him.
Yeah, and the only game he put up any points is when Evans and Godwin were both out.
Yeah, and Gronk's been blocking so well right now that they're leaving him on the line, and that's freeing up Cameron Brate, who we saw last week. I have to bring up the exact stats, but he had one of the better games he's had all season.
Yeah, he had a couple of opportunities in the red zone too that he just dropped, or that pass was inaccurate.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the under-owned game. So if you're getting weird in a GPP, if you're doing a 5 max or 8 max, or obviously if you're doing a 20 max, you're playing everything, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're doing a 20 max or 57 max or 150 max lineups. You're literally playing everything. But I like to play 3 and 5 maxes myself. This is as much as I think there's leverage here, I just don't like this game for scoring. I mean, Tampa Bay, I guess, Ronald Jones or Fournette, because Green Bay's run defense is so bad. But Green Bay's passing defense has been just so good. I mean, it's Brady. It's the playoffs. It's hard to bet against them. But couldn't you see this game as like 21-17?
Oh, yeah, easily. I don't even know if it'll get that high, to be honest with you. I think it's probably going to be 20-17. It'll be a field goal to win the game.
Right? That's what my hope is, because I want that to be Green Bay, because I want that 3.5 points on the Bucks is what I want. But I want Green Bay to go. I'm tired of Brady in the Super Bowl. I want nothing to do with Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And I would really like to see Buffalo, because I don't know. I root for the underdog a lot. I like it a lot, but the fact that they've been so awful, and in just a couple of years they've been able to rebuild and get to the championship game, I think is awesome. I'd like to see them go, even if they don't win it.
So here's the biggest question. Which team are the refs playing for? You got Brady and Rodgers in a game. I mean, how are the refs going to decide which team they're playing for?
They'll probably play more for Rodgers, because Brady's going to be retiring soon. So,
right? Hey, how'd you like our new intro?
I love it. Love it.
A little slicker. I'll get better at it, but that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's always good. We're gonna have to switch up the little iLogic logos.
Where? What are you talking about?
At the very beginning.
What's wrong with those?
I like it, but people voted for the other one, so we should rotate them.
I like that one, so it stays while I make them around here. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's okay. I can rotate them in and out. It's fine.
Nah, so, I don't give a shit.
So let's say you're gonna play this game. Let's talk a little bit about. Obviously, you're gonna play Adams if you can squeeze him in there. I actually kind of liked what we did last week and played more Aaron Jones than Devontae Adams. I don't know that it really worked out in our favor, but I think that's another leverage spot that you can get to Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Bruce Arians is going to be doing everything he can to stop Devontae Adams. So,
but Tampa Bay's run defense has been pretty elite.
Yeah, but they didn't look that elite last week, so I'm not overly worried about it. Towards the end of the season, the run defense, if you look at like the last 5 or 6 games, was not top dog anymore. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it. I still like Aaron Jones as a leverage play. I think you're right. They're going to slow this down. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to keep Brady off the field. So, yeah, I would stick with that.
Yeah, I like Aaron Jones a lot. And on the other side, I'm kind of on the opposite of where the field's at right now. I'm not really interested in Fournette. I like Ronald Jones. I think he's going to be extremely under-owned for the amount of snap share he's going to see in that backfield, which, could be only 35, 40%. But also, they play the hot hand over there, and if Jones gets on a roll for $4,800 against a really bad run defense, I mean, they've got to get him involved, right? Especially missing Antonio Brown, and maybe get him a couple of quick outs. And
yeah, no, I agree. He rushed back from injury last week, which is why you saw Fournette with the majority of carries, but he's had another week to heal. He's going to get at least half the plays.
Yeah, I like Ronald Jones a lot. I'm looking at the ownership over here, and he is projected at 19.9%, where you've got Fournette at 38, you've got Aaron Jones at 52, you've got even Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who really hasn't played football in like 2 months, at 43, Singletary at 48.
Yeah, I ain't touching anything in Kansas City's backfield.
So Aaron Jones is going to be the highest owned according to these projections.
That makes sense.
It doesn't bother me that much. Where are you?
It's a 4-game slate, so you're going to have to play some chalk.
Right, absolutely. And I'm always a fan of playing Jamal Williams. I really feel like his floor is like 7 or 8 points. So I don't mind Jamal Williams ever. I think that's fine. I think you can play Darrell Williams on the Chiefs side for somebody low owned, 5.6. I mean, we're going to see what Clyde Edwards-Helaire ends up being a game time decision. As long as they say he's healthy and going to carry the load, it'll take a lot of people off Williams. But what if Helaire tweaks that injury? What if Darrell has to come in and finish it up? What if they actually blow out the Bills and they decide to rest CEH for the game and just load up with Darrell?
Yeah, exactly. I like that play a lot. And I don't think CEH is I don't think Andy Reid is in love with CEH by any means. So Darrell Williams seems to be the most comfortable with the offense and actually does the best job. So I can totally see Andy Reid sticking with him for the majority of the carries.
Yeah, and for these 2-game slates, basically for me, unless you're playing huge GPPs and you're putting in a ton of lineups, you're just trying to, I like cash a little bit more in 3 maxes, but you're going to play a lot of chalk, right? So for me, like I'm building every lineup, starting with Travis Kelce, going to Stephon Diggs, probably fitting Tyreek Hill in there as well. And then I'm probably playing one of the other wide receivers from Buffalo, either Brown or Beasley. We'll see how Davis's health is. Even Isaiah McKenzie could fit in there. And then I'm going up to the other game, and I'm probably playing 2 of the running backs, or maybe a Lazard or a MVS. Where are you falling on the Lazard versus MVS for this particular game?
Man, it's a coin toss. I mean, Lazard had the better game last week, but he had the same amount of targets. I mean, MVS just wasn't coming up with the catches. So I'm torn. I prefer MVS over Lazard, but
Lazard's looking at about 14% ownership, and MVS looking about 4%. So, I mean, it's obvious because usually Lazard is the guy that's always on the other side, right? But MVS is that 70-yard bomb threat.
Yeah, well, and he's been playing a little more in the slot too. So he's been that kind of over-the-middle post route guy that Rodgers has been going to. When he sees that cover 2 and they open up the center, MVS is the guy he's going to get thrown to.
And then for tight end, man, I mean, obviously, Kelsey's going to be in 100% of my lineups unless I'm building more than 5 lineups. I'm just not taking him out. I just can't do it. Can you make an argument that he shouldn't be in your lineup?
No, he should be in the majority of your lineups and maybe just pivot 1 to Tanyan.
I mean, I'm telling you, in our 25-person league, right, would you be shocked if 20 people played Kelce?
No, I won't be shocked if 100% play Kelce.
Right? So for me, it's like, especially in our league, right, with 25 people, if you think 100% or 90% or 80% are going to play Kelce, some people would say fade it. Chris would probably say fade it. But for me, it's like, no, just play it, because it's just going to eliminate. If he does badly, we all do badly. If he does great, we all do great.
You don't have to fade there. You can find the leverage elsewhere.
Because what you're not going to want to do is fade Kelce and have the next closest tight end score 4 or 5 points.
Right.
You lose so much leverage.
Yeah, you can find leverage on. You got 2 other receivers you can find leverage on.
Yeah, I'm really not interested in Devontae Adams. I think 8,000 is too much. I think Tampa Bay does a good job of trying to shut down number ones. It hasn't always happened. If you go back and look, they have been burned a few times. But in that offense, like it's really all you have to worry about is shutting down Adams and worry about the rest.
Yeah, because Lazard and MVS are not consistent. Tanyan would be probably the next best on there. And like we said, we think he's going to run. They're going to run the ball as much as they can.
Where are you falling on the Cole Beasley and John Brown scale? Beasley got shut out last week, but he might have been playing more of his decoy than 100% healthy.
Yeah, did John Brown really do anything either?
I had a decent game. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to see how my lineups fall, but I mean, if Beasley's healthy, I think you go with Beasley.
You like Beasley over Brown?
Yeah. I mean, Brown he also rushed back from that injury. That was a pretty nasty knee injury he had. He rushed back last week, so maybe an extra week helps him.
So I tell you what, when I'm doing these 3 max, 5 max competitions, one of the things, especially on a slate like this, that I like to do is double tight end. So I think I will probably play Kelce almost 100%, and I'll probably slide either a Cameron Braid, a Gronk, a Dawson Knox in there every now and then, maybe even a Tanyan, but I kind of like the double tight end this week. Not gonna lie, you can see a double tight end for me probably in our league.
I mean, that's leverage. You need leverage in these slates. I mean, we're basically talking about a 4-team showdown.
And then the other way that you're going to find the leverage is we're going to throw a dart at one of the Kansas City receivers not named Tyreek Hill. if Sammy Watkins is perfectly healthy leading in, what's your trust level there? Because when he's healthy, he's out there like 80-85% of snaps.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, even if he's out there.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna like it a lot.
Right now, they're only looking at 12% ownership, but that's just because I think there's just a lot of spots you can go. Man, I was really kind of hoping CEH was not going to be as highly owned as he was. I was hoping to be a little lower than that, but I kind of am talking myself into just playing Darrell Williams anyways, and hoping he either tweaks an injury or is just more effective, or they just get up big and they run the ball. But I just don't see it, man. I don't know that these games are going to be fireworks for me. I already told you, man. I'm doing a 4-way parlay, and part of that parlay is the under on both games.
Yeah, I'm with you. These are not going to be big explosive games. They just playoff games never are, rarely are.
All right, I know we haven't built lineups yet, but what's your favorite stack? Throw it out there. I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
For me, man, it's Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen and Diggs, and it's mix and matching the other pieces from everybody else on that. If I'm building 5 lineups, I wouldn't be shocked to see myself build 5 Josh Allen lineups. I think he's got the upside in passing yards and getting behind from Kansas City. He's got the upside in the rushing yards if they're getting ahead of Kansas City, because he's going to be their primary rushing threat in the red zone most likely.
Yep.
And for me, it's Josh Allen, man. I'm putting Allen and Diggs in, and then I'm swapping in and out between Brown and Beasley and Singletary and Knox and building around that, and then running back with Kelsey and Hill, or Kelsey and one of the other pieces. And then I'm just kind of sprinkling in individual plays from the first game.
Yeah, I can't disagree. That's right where I'm going too. For everything you said, Josh Allen, for all intents and purposes, is the only running quarterback in these playoffs. Mahomes is hurt. He's got the toe. He had the concussion. He's not going to be running as much as he usually does. And even towards the end of the season, he wasn't running that much. So the upside in Josh Allen is just huge compared to the other quarterbacks in my mind. So you got to start with Josh Allen. If you play him, you got to have Diggs in. He throws to Diggs all the time. It's his favorite receiver. He forces it into him. He's the Calvin Johnson of this offense. You got to play him. And then, like you said, mix and match the other things. Now, I kind of like leveraging a non-traditional thing in a small slate like this. This is where I will stack Singletary in there too. So I will have a Josh Allen, Singletary, Diggs lineup, and that's because Singletary is solo now. He's getting targets.
And honestly, I'd probably throw a 4th one in there too, and just hope that you get every touchdown from Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. That was the next thing, is these short slates. That it seems, at least it feels like it lately, that single team stacks where you load 90% of that team with all on the same team is winning.
Absolutely, man. I don't know if there's a whole lot more to talk about than this. It's kind of a random afternoon. So let's switch gears here. I know you're working on an NHL article. So I've been following your advice. We've had a couple of people here. So let's go switch over to a little NHL DFS building on Draftkings, and let's help you prepare for this article you're going to pound out as soon as we're done here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, put me on the spot. Let's do it.
I like it. So I've been following your plays and going through a couple of the spots that I like to look at for the last 5 nights, and I have won my 50-50s 3 of the last 5 nights, so I'm up, $20-$30, which is fine. I'm just playing along, having fun with cash games. So let's go ahead and look at today's game. So starting at 7 o'clock, we have got the Philadelphia Flyers heading to Boston to play the Bruins. What do we got here? It looks like a 3.5 favor of the Bruins by a half a goal, third of a goal.
Yeah, and let me bring that. I think let me bring up last night, because they played last night.
So do you fade a team that plays back-to-back?
No, you can't. You can't this year. They're all playing back-to-backs.
All right. So I'll tell you my brief research while you're pulling up your stuff there, Mark. I know I put you on the spot. The guy that rated out the best goalie play for me in price per dollar is Jaroslav Halak here in this game.
Oh yeah, Halak's rock solid. What's his price though?
So he's only at 7,600, which is super low for the slate. Everybody is on Bennington. That's the big one. Because that's the biggest goal differential between two teams, the Blues and the Kings. But he's 8,400, so you're getting an $800 discount in a game where the opponent isn't really projected to score much more than the St. Louis opponent. So 7,600, frees you up a little bit more money. I kind of like it. I like it a lot.
I don't understand.
Yeah, and that's what you got to find that goalie leverage. You got to find that the two ways to look at goalies is you look for one who's going to win, so you get the win bonus. The other thing to do is find one who's cheap, who's going to face a ton of shots. So even if he loses or he gets scored on a lot, he has a ton of shots, and you get the shot bonus, the save bonus. And so I think you're right where you need to be in your thinking on the goalies.
So I like him, and actually what graded out is on the other side. Carter Hart actually graded out pretty well for the same price, but I just think that Boston has a better chance to win at home. So I like Halak more.
Yeah, so that's why I was going back to look. So they played 2 nights ago, and it went to a 5-4 shootout.
Oh, come on.
And it was backup goalies. So
goalies are fresh.
Goalies are fresh. So I still kind of expect this to be a high-scoring game. I mean, Philadelphia and Boston hate each other. They're both on hot streaks. Their offenses are going nuts right now. I can see this totally being another 4-3, 4-5 game. This is a case where you're looking for that save bonus.
So he's going to give up some goals, but you're hoping for the win, and you're hoping to hit that 35 saves.
Yep, and that's exactly what you're doing.
All right. Let's see. Did I play either side of this in my early builds? Not really. I wasn't too high on either sides of the offense on this one.
No, it's hard because Bergeron is the highest price center on today's slate.
Marchand's super expensive.
Marchand's number 2. Wow, Kyle Connor jumped up to 7,600.
Yeah, I saw.
Man, that. I was winning a lot of money with him the last couple of nights when he was in the 6s.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the next game real quick then. We're gonna have some Canadian fireworks tonight. We have 2 games with all Canadian lineups, I believe. So we've got the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks, both who have been scoring like crazy. Their prices really aren't that high, man. Let's start at the goalie position. Because this game could be a shootout, do you like, say, Carey Price at 8,000 because he'll probably get that bonus?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm still bringing up stuff.
I know. I put you on the spot. You didn't know we were going to talk
so many things.
So for me here, how can we get off Tyler Toffoli? I mean, he's just been absolutely crushing for us. He's still only $5,000.
You have to play him. The pricing has not caught up, and he's just been on fire. He's getting 20, 30, even 40 points a night for you on DK.
I mean, here's the thing, too, man, is the reason why you have to keep playing Montreal, because look who's on their power play, their 3rd line left winger in Toffoli. So they can't put his price up like crazy high. He's a 3rd liner, right? But he's on their 1st power play line. Then you got Nick Suzuki, their 2nd line their 2nd line center at 5,700 on their number 1 power play. And then on the same line with him, Jonathan Drouin, who is at 4,500 and on their 1st power play line. And this team has been putting up goals.
Yes, and on the power play. So they're the number 1 power play for the first 4 games of the season. Yeah, we're still early in the season, but
right. I just named you 3 guys on a number 1 power play team that just barely over 15,000 for all 3 of them.
Yep.
I started my build with that. I did 3 lineups like I've been doing every night, and all 3 of them started with that. I'll probably change one to be contrarian, but I started all 3 of them with that just to see where it would lead me.
Yeah, but yeah, you save so much money and you have such a high ceiling. So I love it.
All right, we're gonna have to tell our friend over at Fantasy Football Blueprint that's been following your advice to fast forward this video to about halfway through, so he can hear a little bit of our banter. But I like the other side of this too, Mark. Horvat, I think, is a pretty good center at 6,500. It's high, but not too high. You can pair him up with a Bowser. Sorry if I kill names. I'm not a hockey guy. But yeah, I mean, you could play 3 from Montreal and 2 from Vancouver, and you're really not that deep into salary.
Yeah. So for Vancouver, the stack I like is Horvat and JT Miller.
Mm-hmm.
JT Miller's still priced at a good clip, and he's been dishing out the assists like crazy. And then you can throw in, I love Quinn Hughes. I got to check his status because I think he got hurt the other night. But for a good low-priced defenseman who is on a top-scoring power play, yeah, he's only 5,800. So he's kind of mid-range for defenseman. And he is...
I mean, his projection over on Osimo is almost 10 points.
Yeah, I was going to say, so his last 4 games are 9.3, 14.5, 4.5, 7.3. So with that said, he's got a floor somewhere around 8-9 points.
Yeah, that's nice. But 5,800 for a defenseman is a little steep when you're trying to fit some other stacks in there. But because we started with such a cheap stack on the Canadians, we can do that.
Right. And this is a good day. The main slate on DK is only 4 games tonight.
Mm-hmm.
For GPPs, not necessarily cash, but for GPPs, I'm going to be stacking the crap out of this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to load it with Montreal, Vancouver, even second and third lines, and
let me
try
ask you,
to catch lightning in a bottle.
So, Mark, you've been doing DFS NHL for a few years, and I have not. And so I'm just trying to learn. And Chris has really helped me with League of Legends and a few theories with that. And so help me out here with hockey. Is there any, like, if you think the first line is going to be dominant for the Canadians, is there any credence to my thought process then if I'm going to stack this game that maybe I like the second line on the opposing team because the first line's playing so well, you want to fade the first line they're playing against? Or is that just thinking too deep?
No, it's just, it depends on the team. Take Washington Capitals top line with Ovechkin, who's not playing, but they're all offense and no defense. So even though they're going to be going and scoring a lot, they get scored on a lot. But that's not the case with some lines. Like St. Louis's top line is a good defensive line. So that's a case where if you tonight, St. Louis, LA, I would not play LA's top line back at St. Louis. I would be playing St. Louis's second line back, or LA's second line back at St. Louis, and try to leverage that. So you're on the right track. There's just a few teams that you have to watch out for because their top lines don't fit into that scenario.
For sure. Yeah. Chris just reached out. Apparently he wants to come talk hockey with us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to chop this video up into 2 segments.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna get out of here in a few minutes anyway. So let's keep talking while we wait for him to show up. Let's get into the next game. So we love Montreal. Stack it up. And what I have learned,
love Vancouver too,
is I either try to correlate players who are on the same line or on the same power play line.
Yeah, 90% of the time I correlate power play lines.
Right, I like that.
Come on, dude.
And it's because you can get, in some cases, you can get players that play on the first or second lines, but they play on the power play one. So
Sure.
That's where you can get a second liner getting passes from in Ovechkin. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and it gives you a little bit of leverage in those cases.
Yeah, I can get in on that. All right, so I'm learning, man. I'm learning. It's even more important in hockey to kind of figure out where your goalie is going to be than it is like quarterback or pitcher in baseball. Just because their salaries are going to there's not a real way to save deep salary with goalie.
No, and DraftKings does a pretty good job. You take that low end, like tonight. The low end is Peterson. I think it's Peterson tonight.
Yep, it is Peterson. Yep.
In LA, they're in St. Louis, which is a top 5 offense. He's going to get lit up, and they're not going to hit him with a ton of shots. So he's going to be a very low floor kind of guy right now. I mean, he's only played in one other game against Colorado, who you would think would light him up, right?
Right.
4 points was his output because they just don't need to light him up.
Right. I got you. All right, let's keep talking then. So load up the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks. Load them both up. Prices are good. And even Carey Price could be a fit for goalie because he's probably going to get the shots on goal enough to get the bonus for you, and they're probably not going to pull him.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's the other problem with taking a discount goalie is if he gets lit up, he could just get pulled if he's not like the main guy.
Yep, exactly.
That's not good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that St. Louis game. Let's go to St. Louis. The Kings are coming in. Blues are the biggest heavy favorite on the board tonight. Jordan Binnington, the biggest priced goalie.
Yeah, LA's in a rebuild, so they are definitely.
Welcome, Christopher Emmerich. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
So,
little shaved, ready to go.
Ready to go. Well, we've already passed the NFL, and we're halfway through the NHL.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I'm here.
So we ran out of football.
I love Carey Price. I love it.
Because without you to argue with us, we went through NFL in like 15 minutes. So
play whoever you want. Doesn't matter. 2 games. Fuck it.
Right. Play whoever you want. True story. So yes, we are on
the KC Buffalo game, right? We said to play the NFC game, right? Tom Brady. Antonio Brown.
Yep. If you're getting weird, play the other side. That's right.
Antonio Brown, right?
That's right. Antonio Brown all day. So we are talking about the Los Angeles Kings going to St. Louis. St. Louis is the biggest favorite on the board. Their goalie, Jordan Binnington, is the highest priced goalie on the board, and probably rightfully so. I am off of him because I am on the gentleman from Boston instead. But let's talk about this game. Mark, where are you targeting here? Even the St. Louis lines are just like dirt cheap.
Yeah, it's
like crazy cheap.
It's weird too, yeah. But it's because their top players out for the season. They kind of cobbled together a few lines, but they're playing really good. They look good. This is another case where you target the power play unit. Braden Shen, Ryan O'Reilly, get a little Perron in there. You can do Torrey Krug. That's where I would head here. If you can afford it, go with Binnington. But the only problem is I don't think LA have put enough shots on him to justify the $8,200 salary.
I think in my first cash build, I filled out the last 2 spots with Braden Shen and Jaden Schwartz. That was the last 2. They play on the same line together. They play on the same power play together. I just figured that was a good correlation.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Ryan O'Reilly a lot right now, too.
I liked him, too, and I had enough money for him, but I just felt like it was a better opportunity to pair the 2 guys on the same line and same power play and try to correlate both of those things. I could be wrong. You're the NHL guy.
I mean, if we're talking about LA, I think the favorite play is probably Adrian Kempe or Kemp. I don't know how you say his name. Like the E at the end of it really kind of throws me off.
Yeah, $3,500. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just Kemp. Yeah.
I almost feel like Mark, like you're laying on the floor looking up at the monitor.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, somebody asked me about that. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool if you were.
It would be way more comfortable.
So, Mark, are you interested in the contrarian stack for the Kings, or just putting a piece in there just because they're so dirt cheap? I mean, Andres has been scoring pretty darn well. He's only projected at 0.8% ownership at 4,100.
No, I mean, not really. I don't see LA really doing much in this game against St. Louis.
And the St. Louis pricing for their lines are just so cheap. So I like we were just saying, your second line, your first liners, the guys on the power play. I like it. Let's move on to the last game. So we're going to go back to Canada again, the Ottawa Senators and the Winnipeg Jets. This is another game I kind of like to stack both sides.
I do. Ottawa is showing life. They've come in. They were the team you stacked against last year. That hasn't necessarily stopped, but their offense is looking really good. So this is another game where you can stack both of these teams in a GPP and really load up.
Is there any cooler name in sports than Drake Batherson?
I don't know. It's pretty good.
As good.
Pretty good.
It's a good name.
Really good name. So I like the second power play line in the Winnipeg because I like the other Canadian matchup a little bit better. So the second line here, Andrew Kopp at 3,900. Just a really nice price for him. And you can even go down to, I can't say his last name, Perreault?
Yeah, Perreault
at 2,500, the other winger on that power play. You can really find some bargains in this game.
Yeah, Kopp and Perreault would be really good plays on the second unit. And if we look at, Ottawa's all about their first line. So if you actually look at Winnipeg's second line of Kopp and Stastny, I like that a lot. This is the case where you can consider stacking the second line, even though you don't necessarily have a power play correlation. You have Kopp on the second power play unit, but you have Stastny on the first. So I really kind of like that stack.
Well, I think you can go like a double or triple center too. And I think the other guy that you could play is Adam Lowry.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a fantastic name as well. 3,100, and just like kind of stack up on wingers and defensemen other places. It really kind of makes your build unique when you have not only just two centers, but what if you put three? That's fucking wild.
I like it. If anybody's curious, Chris is on like a 36-hour seltzer and bourbon binge, so don't mind him.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on. This is Fireball and schnapps, and it's Fireball and schnapps. That's what I'm at. I'm out of vodka. I've done all of the Bloody Marys, and I've emptied. I've emptied a lot. Like it's amazing. I'm doing a great thing here.
Well, now that we've killed the NHL, thanks for watching that. Thanks for watching football earlier, Chris. How did DFS League of Legends go for you last night and today?
From a DFS standpoint, pretty shitty today, especially. Probably lost. I know exactly how much I lost, as a matter of fact. 60%. I mean, I got so drunk last night, guys. I got so drunk that I sent both of these guys a bunch of money and told them to play cash games with my money.
I like it. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, it's all good. Yeah, so had some bad situations. Like, kind of, it wasn't bad. Like, I think Rogue smashed my cash line today. Thankfully, nobody took my head-to-head, so I didn't really get screwed on that. But like, I lost pretty heavily. That being said, I was pretty live with Rogue, and then I hit a 3-team parlay, a couple single bets. So overall, for the last 2 days, I think I'm probably positive. Like, I won a GPP last night. I won $1,000, but like I lost so badly everywhere else that I still lost last night.
Well, I would tell you, man, we were talking about that noon slate yesterday, right? And you were talking about how if you're going to play G2 and you want to get weird, you stack the misfits with them, right? And I ended up doing 3 lineups, all 3 cashed that I did that in, but I did 7 other lineups. And man, for a hot minute though, man, I was going to do kind of what we talked about. And I was going to play literally all 10 of them. I was just going to mix and match G2 and Misfits, and that would have been the nuts. I'd have cleaned it up, but it was fun to watch.
It was fantastic. I mean, today the games have been they were garbage. Like they were not fun viewing. I mean, the Rogue Fanatic game was pretty fun, and then like G2, since I had so much money on them winning when they seemed like they were going to throw the game like several times. That was fun, but like the first three were just absolute trash. Right now we've got LCS, we've got some 3-game series, so that's kind of interesting. There's also Call of Duty League starting. There's no DFS for that, but you can certainly bet on it. Heavy on Optic today because why the fuck not? Like Optic's what it's about.
Hey Chris, wasn't Call of Duty? Was it Call of Duty or CS:GO that we were live watching when I was working at the restaurant this last summer when that whole thing went down? When somebody snuck into the feed and was telling people how to bet
it was Call of Duty. It was Call of Duty because it was at the delay, but. So Call of Duty, it's a little different. So this is fun, like that they don't have it for DFS this year. Well, at least right now, because they went from 5 players to 4 players, and so it really changes the dynamics and a lot of roster changes. So it should be kind of interesting. I've got it on my second TV, watching the league here, harassing my wife who's in the shower.
And then I have to ask you, obviously you're all in on Josh Allen since you have shaped your facial hair in his honor.
I'm actually going to shave even more.
Yeah,
I'm going to go like tomorrow if we're on air. You'll see me. I'll be straight shaved. Like I shaved last night and then I left a mustache, and my wife was really upset. And as soon as she came home, she walked me into the bathroom with the razor, turned it on, and forcibly made me shave the mustache. And I'm just not sure how I feel about that.
No, I like your love of Josh Allen. I was just saying how if I built 5 lineups, I'd probably start all 5 with Josh Allen earlier. And you weren't here to argue with me, so my nonsense just got head nodded by Mark, and we moved along.
Yeah, I mean, look, from a football standpoint, I think that's fine. Like, I mean, my favorite play is going to be Tom Brady, though.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely where we're going.
40s, you should appreciate Tom Brady, Danger.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate him. I'm not gonna lie. All right, I gotta fix this for the viewers at home. Hold on. Can't seem to make this do what I want it to do. So this is just great radio. Sorry.
What? I missed it.
Oh man, I just got a message from my wife. She heard me and she just told me that she will not allow me to shave anymore.
Ooh, I like it. Let's see if I can figure out how to do what I was trying to do here. Can I do it from here?
Guys, I will tell you that I'm part of a Discord that, like, Danger, I don't know if you went to the food and drink part that I just invited you into, but they are talking about peanut butter and pickles, banana and mayonnaise, and peanut
weird stuff, man.
Like, this is fucking.
Here you go, Chris. Just for you. You like that?
I love it.
Yeah, I like it. And I like that you're wearing the exact same thing, and this was sent to us yesterday at about this time. So this is good.
Yeah,
for you.
I haven't showered. This is the same outfit, same pants, everything. I might have changed my underwear, but I'm not even sure if I did that.
I like it. All right, Chris. Well, we got to let Mark get out of here. He's trying to finish this hockey article before puck drop. So we broke that down, and we're happy that you're happy. And I don't know that we'll do a pregame show tomorrow. Maybe we will. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, you'll catch us on many of our other feeds. So please check us out. Check out ilogicmedia.com for some of our other shows. Make sure you go to Draft for Upside's Facebook page like us. And you can find our premium content at fantasyfootballblueprint.com.
Call Kyle O'Connor. Kyle O'Connor is going to score a goal tonight.
Well, there you go. Kyle O'Connor from Chris.
I like Kyle O'Connor.
I like it. Yeah, we talked about him earlier. So we like him. So we will catch you all later. Peace, guys.
Peace.